Well, actually, the reason why I've been thinking about that is because I don't like that, you know, there was trying to suggest that you would be in one of those homes and stuff because I wanted to be the one to take care of you, and I would always be going against, that kind of life arrangement for you. I think I'm good enough to take care of you and myself despite my anxieties. But the reason why we're that way is because life is hard. We can't we can't reason, how to, solve all the issues in ourselves. It's it's a bit immense, and I've lived long enough to understand that life is about, looking inside. I mean, believing in what you see as beautiful. You've made it if you're happy that you have a drink or a food, or if you're happy about what's going on in, the normal days. The more desire, the more it hurts, the more expectation, and just hearing about such things with all the things that's going on, it's giving me a trial of anxiety, a hardness. It's made me want to be stunner. I'm trying to train myself to the best that I can for how I feel, because right now I find life trying to desert me and leave me alone. I don't know how to build it. I don't know how to gain more. It's just that this world is the isolation world. And in many ways, you live in a world where you can't be yourself. Because when you want to be for yourself, people don't understand you ever. Others never understand because they don't seek it. They don't want to understand, because maybe the person that is who you are when you're alone is the most pure, the most raw you, and no one ever understands because people have to put up a front and act, and people is as actors. That's why they're against it. That you didn't always want to use the bathroom on the toilet. They think it's wrong. It means that you would want to use it on a bucket because you'd be afraid sometimes, or if you want to not be by yourself. And then me, the way I am, that anxiety was all manufactured. It's created. You weren't born that. That's why I would not say that when you're a kid it's better, because it's not better when you're a kid. It's just the mindset changes. It can still be positive when you grow up, and then I think the older times is good. Like something came to me that I feel the past 2 years have been a very great positive 2 years, but I haven't been able to see it due to the troubles and conflicts. But it's been a very good time. Just haven't seen it. I think I needed to realize that something was more better than I thought. It's just that, you need to take what's good. Maybe hearing nagging of mom and her madnesses can, block out the positives. And you can't have the positives be blocked out, because you got to see and be thankful for what's going on in the day to day, the bit by bit. And with the impressioning of other people trying to teach you, yes, the skills are important, but we can't always say that someone is always right and correct. You will always have who you are, and you will always be who you are. And my sister, the reason why I feel concerned at this time, just feel stunned. Some people say growth is hard. Some people say it's easy. But what I think is depending on what it is to you. So it means, to me personally, I take it harder. And I don't know if I've ever felt such an immensity. Maybe it's by threat, it's by fear or worry, but sometimes you get tested to the max. And there's moments where you must be calm, even in the face and the difficulties of it before you. Things that is out of your hand and out of control, you just have no choice but to be calm. Pressure is handled in different mindsets. And yet I feel life keeps bringing me to the point where you would want to go crazed with sensitivity. And you gotta hold up. I feel that, not thinking about, not you or mom not being around makes, there's moments where you feel like you want to grab your head. And there's moments in me that just wants to flip. Like, it's when I try to walk up the street and I have like, where's my love? Where's my care? It's I hate those moments that feel that. I don't want life to be that way. I'm glad that we could be ourselves and express how we feel about that. And I don't agree with my aunt April telling me that when them, thinking that it's right, it's a form of growing up to be alone. If you wanted to live with your family like a tribal life, your mother, your sister, if you wanted, families want, it's okay. Growing up is not that. Growing up is being able to get your skills and means to take care. But even other beings, yeah, I mean, like you're growing up fine, you're doing good, but your will is that. But the fulfillment is not in just the work itself; it's in the specific kind of work. If someone goes to work for what they want, then it makes it worthwhile. But if you're going to work for something, you're going to give up your life to that. But you're giving up your life to take care of somebody. So it's a worthwhile cause. But other beings, as you learn, is this manipulation, schemishness, using and abusing on a higher level, using people as slaves, and we find out that we live in a society that isn't orderly. I'd rather work for no money and be given my needs and being able to make an impression, but the society that I wish and dream does not exist. And yet, I am given a seat to a disgraceful society and a hard existence sometimes, but I must give it with love and kindness and a lot of emotions of struggle nowadays in this era, in this time of strife. You know that I feel for you, Ashley, because you always show me that life is wonderful and cute, which means I would think about your meanings. If I ever felt disappointed about life, I'll think about the gentleness that Ashley made. You gotta find something that makes you feel good about life. Everybody has that in their own mind and dimension. But the thing that feels sad to me is that people would never understand each other. They would never be able to reach being into the heart, to the inner person. They would never be able to see who people are for real because they always had to act to please. But it's amazing that you let one thing out, or if you do one thing like this, that the truth could divide people. But it's like the division could have always been there if people don't understand others. I don't like the rules that people say because I don't want to think that one is always correct. I'm not always right. And I'm just going to keep being in that mindset of what is correct. The correct way is the way you create for yourself. And all I can say is that I wanted to give good life and give good meanings. Make life feel worth it. And make life feel acceptable. It needs it. Without the right mindset, I wouldn't be able to handle myself. Even as struggle it is, kind of like go, you could feel it as it grips the hardship of pressures and struggle. And all I can do is give myself the calmness, being born and realizing what the meaning of life is to exist and feel this experience and choosing for myself to be able as a human being to rise above the limit. And it asks me to be stronger than I've ever imagined. The challenges. We always did say it was the disciplined life. And I have to make that discipline my delight. Other than that, how do I know how to enjoy life? Thinking about memories of when I wasn't by my mom and my sister when I was 19 made me so vulnerable. But to imagine to have to live apart from them, it terrifies me. I'm not somebody who can build on things so easily. I don't want to give up. I don't know what to think sometimes. I guess I understand that life would leave you perplexed. There's moments where life leaves you when you don't even know what to do. You're like, maybe that's why you froze up when you were bothered by certain things. Like, oh my goodness. It's like you're a disk that freezes, huh? And you're loading the next program to figure out the next answer. I think that stunner things happen in life where you just don't know what to do, and I feel the temptation of that. So like, just go. Existence has really swacked me. You know what I mean? And it's just like in those moments you could go a little crazy. You'd be like, you feel nuts because you got to find the peace, huh? And it's just that way. And I feel it's just like sometimes enough is enough. But existence loves to add to the trouble. It's just the challenges set by a horrific society. Human beings as monsters. Some of them are. Some of them are. It's just that you're constantly struggled. And the very fact that people don't understand each other is their downfall. In all total, you must understand others rather than judging, rather than being prejudiced or hateful or the very meanings that put me down for who I am. It's the very thing that will sink the humanity in the end. And that is a powerful statement. It's a powerful thought. I must speak it. I have to go around and around it. And that's what these days is like. I will be calm and still until I find a way.